Hello dear viewer and welcome to the showcase and review of Dark Mist on iOS with me, Jalinon. So yes, this game is rated ages 9+. Parents, in case you can't tell from kind of the vibe of this immediate scenario on the screen, it is kind of a scarier game in terms of what the story is and some of the scenarios that pop up. So I would actually suggest for ages 12+. Like, I'll try to put a screenshot here. In one event, basically there's a corpse of a creature, and it talks about acidic blood and stuff like that. And frankly, I don't know if that's appropriate for 9-year-olds. Like, the imagery isn't too gruesome, is what I should say. It's just the actual story is, you know. So, yeah. To further explain the story, basically, there's this dark mist, or red mist, that's going around the world, and kind of mutating creatures and turning them into crazy abominations and things. To showcase, let's go to the standard mode. There's 6 different characters at the moment: the Berserker, the Bugmaster, Prophet, Chaos Knight, Beastmaster, and Vampire. So, basically, you can choose any of these characters, and much like Slay the Spire, you go and you start a nice little roguelike run through. So we get a scarlet wind blowing past us at the beginning, and we have 3 options. So this is one of the events in the game. This is an Ascension 8 run, so this is the highest you can go with the Berserker. And so I can choose to take a wound card and get a random common prop, which is like a relic in Slay the Spire. Or I can upgrade a card. So one of my current cards, I can check my deck real fast. They're all terrible cards, so I don't really care. Health of all enemies in the front row becomes 1. Well, we can do this for now. So I take a bad card in order to get a random relic or prop. One other thing to note is that you can play this in portrait mode or in landscape mode. As you can see, the game works perfectly fine in landscape or in portrait mode. It's very well designed for mobile. Other nice features is that it's a one-time purchase. So parents, once again, it shouldn't be more than $5.99. It is often on sale. I think I picked it up for just $1, and it's definitely worth it in my opinion. You get a lot for it. And anyway, this is basically how the game works. You have different rows and columns of enemies. As we defeat an enemy, we will pull down the next one in line. So I'm just clicking and hovering on them with my finger right now. So basically, if I KO this rat soldier, this guy will come on down. And that's not great. But it's better than taking out this guy, because behind this other rat soldier is a mouse witch with range. And the idea behind this game is that as these guys damage me, they take the cards from my pile. So the more cards you have, the more life you have, technically. Let's level up here. You gain XP for beating stuff up. I'll take the Bloody Strike card. That doesn't go straight into my hand, that goes into my life pile. So enemies will take from the block pile first, and if they take all the block pile cards, they'll start going into your life pile. But your life pile is where you usually draw from, unless a card says otherwise. And then, to showcase the range, I guess we'll go with you. Okay. So here we go. Enemies are attacking. And we've got our effects volume. I can turn that up. We have other options like fast mode. We can try that. Card information on hover. Okay. We can have screen shake. I don't really like it, so meh. Let's see how this looks now. So, what we're going to do is 1 normal strike, and then the boiling blow. There we go. That gives me an extra boiling blood. So it'll let me deal 1 damage for free, basically, which is pretty good. This card, on the other hand, will let me deal 2 damage and draw a card and discard a card. Drawing and discarding are both pretty important to the Berserker. we'll go for you. We can get rid of our wound card. Okay. So we'll do this. And the smart thing to do is take this out and start working on the witch. Except we don't want to face another elite just yet. Elite characters will drop different relics or cause an event to happen. So, you know what? We'll do that. And as you can see, they are starting to take cards from my block pile. And you'll see underneath them more and more cards piling up. So I'll leave that along for a second. We'll do that. There we go. Gain another level. Gain another card. Ooh, Twin Strike's pretty good. So is Transfusion. Battle Plans, the upgraded version will let you draw 10 cards. You do not get to see upgraded versions in this screen. So that's a little meh. But when you get to the store, much like Enslaved Spire and other roguelikes and things, you can upgrade cards, you can get rid of bad cards you don't want from your deck. But because of the gimmick in this game being that your cards are your life, the more cards you have, the better. Which is one reason why I would suggest to anybody, with the Berserker at least, taking a bunch of cards that generate Boiling Blood, because these cards banish when they enter the life pile. But when they're in the block pile, they add a large buffer of worse cards for the enemies to take away from you. Okay then, now that that has been explained, let's do a little bit of work here. I think, do we... We'll work on that later, so I'm not going to worry about the Mouse Witch. We can work on the Soldier, I guess. Meh. We'll do that. And then this costs 0, because I have no other cards in my hand. So all the cards have different effects, which are pretty cool. Okay, we did that. That thing deals damage and regains health equal to the damage dealt. Now this thing has the critical ability, which is unique to the Berserker. Every character has unique mechanics, so they all play very differently. Like the Bugmaster does a lot more kind of AoE dreamy effects and card draw, I would say, initially. Whereas like the Vampire has an entirely unique mechanic where she can hold on to cards inside a third pile that she creates, separate from everything else. It's kind of like a banish pile, except you can still kind of take instant cards there. So let's try to get a critical. Good. So I think we can take this guy out. And in that case, we could probably afford to take the ant down. So I'm going to do this. Okay, that'll work. Do that. And then we can do that. Okay, now one other thing to note. Okay, so we can feel compassion for this trembling little mouse. We can gain XP, which leads us towards the next card that we could choose from, right? Or we can choose the gold nugget, gain 30 gold coins, and I think I'm going to take the coins, because if we can buy more good cards, that'll help us survive. Let's see. Once again, this is the hardest mode at the moment. So all the normal enemies have more health and stuff, so do the elites. And I start with less cards and a curse. Yeah, I think we take out this side right now. Since it was agile, it got to attack me as soon as it popped out. So I'm going to do that. Aha. And we'll take out this ranged character. This thing I think has... Okay, it made me lose energy when it engaged. Engage is when it gets to this front line, it will activate that effect. Whereas this guy is ranged. You don't have any of my cards yet, so we'll do that. And then I do want to add a card before I draw in case there's a good card I could get. Like Roar gives me more energy to play more cards. And if it's the last card I play, then I can draw 2 extra cards. Very hard to pull off with the Berserker, I found, to get the finishing move effects. There are props that help you do that, where it's like if you have 2 cards or less, then you can activate the finishing move. Generally doesn't seem as good to me. I will take Crushing Blow here, because it's a lot of damage, and you can also get Boiling Blood out of it. So, for instance, like that. then I can take any damage that basically was wasted on that other attack onto this guy. So we'll do that. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll kind of split the damage. This guy with the shield on his heart basically shows iron defense. That means he'll only ever take 1 damage at a time per attack. Some cards do multi-attacks like the Twin Strike, so those are good against that, etc., etc. But yeah, as you can see, there's a lot to the game, and I enjoy it. This is one more reason why Boiling Blood is pretty good. So we'll do that. Oop. Get that Boiling Blood, because it's free damage, and it's good against iron defense. And one of the first bosses can be the Queen Ant, that is just really annoying, especially in Ascension 8, without other stuff. You know what? I guess we'll try to reach the boss. Why not? But as you've also noticed, you may want to know that having an internet connection is good, since you can do daily challenges with that. Ooh, okay, you know what? We'll take Hemorrhage for now. Okay. So hopefully I can do this quickly. We'll see. Boop. Get rid of that. We can add 6 Boiling Blood for 4. I can't discard any more cards. So either way, I'm dealing about 6 regardless. So the only question is, do I care about attacking the ant? Not really. So we'll just do that. Prevent the mouse switch from attacking for now. Okay, do that. We got a critical, and this thing's critical effect is to gain energy every time it critical hits. Now, if you KO something, it can't attempt to do another critical hit, right? So that is a problem. We can take out the worker ant now, but I think we go for this ant before it gets too powerful. So we do that. Because it will keep gaining attack power as it attacks, which is not great for us. So I'll just do this. Take it down. Ooh, gold pendant. Okay. More gold. I'll take it. Alright. Let's go ahead and do this. Because that was the final hit, I get the Boiling Blood. The Armored Ant. Yeah. I'll just try to get as quickly... Ooh. The Savage Beam card is a legendary card. It has a good critical effect. Basically ensures... So criticals, 50% chance, basically, to activate that effect and deal double damage. Didn't happen. I am disappointed. And then, of course, that took out energy as it came forward. So, I'm more disappointed. Oh well. We will do what we can. So this is the problem with taking Hemorrhage early. Because right now I don't have too many ways of discarding other than the Shuriken. Or not the Shuriken. What's it called? Is it a Shuriken? I don't know. You have all my cards. Boomerang. There it is. There is a Shuriken card. But that's different. We're going to try to do that. It did not do the crit, so I didn't get 8 damage off. And now, it activated its iron defense, so I'll only deal 1 damage per attack now. So, meh. Basically the same, attacking either one. So I'll do that. We'll do this. Get some blood. Do that, and then 1 damage regardless. Okay. Now, one trick to note is if you pull down the boss before everything is dead, it will just kill off everything. Which, the downside of that being you won't get XP and gold for KOing all those enemies, right? As far as I'm aware, anyway. We are going to do that, because that's 6 damage, and then we can just deal 1 to KO it. Change 1 card and upgrade it. So this is another interesting thing. We could change a Boiling Blood to an actual card that will not get banished, if we had one in our deck. That is one way to expand your deck size in this early part. And I don't know if we'll need that against this boss. Let's see. I can also change the wound card. But here we go. I'll show you the Boiling Blood. Like, okay, and it became Glory Strike, which is a decent card. Okay. If we can get that to work... Probably not. Okay. I are sad, but that's okay. We'll take that. Alright, so the boss came up. That effect was it showing off that it would destroy everything. So it will summon doppelgangers. But boiling blood, once again, very useful. All we need to do is 1 damage to the doppelgangers and they die. So we'll do that. Aha! And then that did critical damage, which was pretty good. Bloody Storm is pretty useful for getting a lot of boiling blood. It basically does damage equal to your energy and then add those cards. This could be worth it though. It was not worth it. Oh well. But basically you deal double damage with the boiling blood storm, bloody storm thing. And then you get more blood. Which is good. Because then he steals the blood, which is just like, kind of pointless to you. Now, I wonder, will this upgrade KOing an illusion? It did not. Okay, so illusions do not count for that card. What about you? Nope. I am once again sad, but that's okay. Boop. So we'll do that. We only have all this, so yeah, we'll do all that. That prevents us from losing 9 cards. So, yeah, we only lost 3 that way. Still need to hit everything. Get rid of hemorrhage. Okay. Yeah, as you can see, I am losing a bunch of cards. And there are many cases where the littler enemies start developing more and more crazy effects. You gotta pay attention to if they're going to have range attacks, to steal cards where you can't hit them. Stuff like that. One other thing to note is that after I KO the boss, I don't think these guys will disappear. Yep, so that's one other thing to note for new players. Yoink. Okay, and then we get to choose a relic after beating, or a prop after beating these guys. So here's the finishing blades. Finishing move effects can trigger when you have just 2. But I prefer the quiver, I believe. So yes, that is one thing to note. Also, we can just go ahead and quit at any time, basically. Another good feature for a mobile game. So if I click continue, we'll be back in that shop. Okay. Master Stroke is a great card. Rip and Tear is pretty good. Upgrades. Yeah, so this is how the upgrade system works. I would definitely upgrade Twin Strike. You can see what it'll become. And if you choose not to spin that, it won't spin it. You're not stuck in the upgrade screen. So that's really nice. Could get another card just to make sure. Get the old dossier. Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, this is more just a showcase of what the game can do than anything. So, as you can see, we have a whole other column. So more creatures to worry about. We don't really have any AoE attacks. Stuff like this is going on. Okay. But let's just showcase. Okay, we did that. They're just going to regenerate, so we'll do this. And then we'll worry about you. Okay. So we just shot an arrow at this guy using the quiver. It happened pretty quickly, but it did have a little effect to try to showcase that. Okay, now we're going to only play 1 card, I think. Then we'll quit. And just to showcase that it does a pretty good job of figuring out where you were. I don't know if you need internet for that. Oh yeah. As you can see, we're back to the turn with the Twin Strike. So we would have to do that again. It did not change the result. I wonder if you could save scum it a little bit, but at any rate, that's how the save system works. Seems to be turn-based, which makes sense. There is also, once again, the daily challenge. We can abandon the previous game. That counts as a loss. In case you're worried about that, you can check your history. So, game loss, game win, game loss, etc., etc. There's an encyclopedia, so you can look at all the props and things. As you go through the Ascensions, you unlock more props, which you will need at the higher Ascension levels. So it is nice to see. But yeah, we've got quite a few left. Yep. Other than that, can also look at your settings here. We got some achievements and things. And yeah, overall, I would say Dark Mist is well worth the price, even at its full price of $5.99. If you enjoy games like Slay the Spire, or just having a nice mobile roguelike, basically. I would say it is, in some ways, simpler because you get to see just everything falling down at you. You don't have to make decisions of which path to take, anything like that. It's more like the decisions are just in your face, and then you choose, you know, from an event, which option you can take. Some of those events, you need to get certain props in order to activate some of those options. So you will be forced to take one choice sometimes. That is another thing to mention. But yeah, for parents, once again, I would just reiterate, it's a little bit of a darker setting and gruesome in some ways. It's not super bloody or anything in its artwork, but it's definitely dark. So I would suggest it for ages 12 and up, if I was going by the App Store system. Certainly you've seen how the gameplay works and looks, and I hope that is enough to help you out. And for gamers, I think, once again, if you enjoy roguelikes, if you enjoy the idea of a very good mobile game that you can just kind of turn off and play it when you want it in whichever landscape or portrait mode you want in your phone, this will work on phone, by the way, then I think Dark Mist is a great choice. I hope you have a great day, dear viewer. Leave a like if you've enjoyed this video, subscribe to see more iOS gaming videos, and have a great day once again.